Okay, so how long should your jug lines be? The answer is going to depend on your waters. My waters, where I fish, it's only about 20 feet deep. So I really don't need any more than about 10 or 12 feet of line. It also depends on what type of jugs are you running. If you're running anchor jugs, where you literally want your jug anchored to the bottom of the river, you're going to need longer lines. Whereas drifting jugs, what I use and what's most successful in my area, you need shorter lines. Anchor jugs just don't perform well in my area. I don't know why, they just don't. But for anchor jugs, longer lines, and you just load up a lot of line, way more line than you'll ever need, just kind of like anchoring your boat. Just probably put on 3 times as much line as there is depth of the water or something. But for drifting jugs like these, I usually go by the fathom. That's 1 fathom, about 6 feet, a little bit shorter actually, but that's almost, well, I measured out 2 fathoms, but by the time I tie a knot here and a knot here, it comes out to just slightly less than 2 fathoms, probably about 10 feet, 10 and a half feet or something of line. And I always run 2 hooks, because I generally find that it doesn't mean that I'm going to catch twice as many fish. If the fish takes bait off 1 hook, they'll usually circle back around and hit the next hook. And when you have a bunch of 2 hook jugs in an area, it gives you that sense of it's almost like a bait fish. The good thing about using floating jugs is that you can use those relatively short lines, 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet. I generally don't catch any catfish. If I'm in 60 feet of water, for instance, I'm not really gonna catch anything with just a little 10-foot rope line, right? So you gotta go even a lot deeper. And in that situation, I'm probably going to be breaking out the hand line anyway and just drifting a deep hole with a hand line. It's a lot easier. Here's the thing, if the water's 20 feet deep, it depends on the wind and the current. If you're drifting your jugs, wind and current become a factor. If you're drifting a jug, especially a highly buoyant jug like this, it's going to float on top of the water and it's going to drift with the wind a lot. And so that line is going to lift up sort of behind, trailing. Even though I'm only fishing in 20 feet deeper water, I could put 24 feet of line on here and it's perfect. Right? I've done that before. But most of the time, that's just not what you need. I just set all my jugs at about the same depth and just run them. And that's what people do around these areas. They're only using 8-foot, 9-foot lines, and that's what works. Even in other areas in Alabama, they just 6, 7 feet of line. That's how you judge for the best line lengths on your jugs. See ya. I guess, maybe.